think I got your attention. Let me try one more time. Shabbat Shalom. There you are, and to everyone who's joining us from a distance, wonderful to be together. A beautiful day, Maya Fe Hayom. After a few days where I was thinking maybe we were going in the wrong direction, and what's really nice about that is that when I created the outline for tonight, I didn't realize it was going to be such a beautiful day, but it works perfectly with our opening song here, which begins, how beautiful it is, Maya Fe, how beautiful it is, and how beautiful it is that all of us can come together in one room as one community with Hine Matov. Please join us. Hine Matov Manaim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad Hine Matov Manaim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad Hine Matov Manaim Hine Matov Manaim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad 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 Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Sound great. Hine Matov Manaim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad Hine Matov Manaim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad Hine Matov Manaim Hine Matov Manaim. Put your hands together with us. Shevet Achim Gam Yachad, 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 Shevet Achim Gam Yachad.
Many of you know, if you're on Facebook, that Rabbi Bennett is in Israel now with a group from Federation, including lots of our young temple members. The pictures are amazing if you haven't seen them. What may be less well known is that there's a group of Israelis who are here and had dinner tonight at Temple Israel, are here in our service, and also from the partnership region, which is wonderful. They're all back there. Hey guys, shalom, brachim habayim. And so this was arranged by our Israel Overseas Department and Jamie Bean, and also she has a counterpart in Israel whose name is Hadash Shaprut. And so we'd like to call them forward for the honor of lighting the Shabbat candles, and just welcome all of our friends from Israel. We're so excited to have you. And Jamie just got married last weekend, so this is her honeymoon, basically, right? And we are on page 13.
Light is the foundation of life, yet impossible to touch. Light is flowers growing and fruit trees blossoming, photosynthesis and rainbows shimmering. Light is energy and romance, enlightenment and lightning. Light is red and violet and magenta and blue, lasers and campfires, warmth and illumination, the sunset and the dawn.
ברוך אתה, אדוני אלוהינו, מלך העולם, אשר קידשנו במצוותיו וציוונו להדליק נר של שבת.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech service continues on page 34, so we welcome the Sabbath bride with Lecha Dodi.
Sing with us after Cantor Michaels, every voice after Cantor Michaels.
Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat, Kabbalat, Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat, Kabbalat. Shamo v'zacho v'diburecha Ishmiyahu el Hamyucha Adonai Echad U'shemo Echad Shem Tiferet v'nitila Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala B'nei Shabbat, Kabbalat, Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat, Kabbalat,
Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha Ki hi mekor habracha Merosh mikedem lesucha Sof ma'aseh b'machshava tefila
Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat, Kabbalat, Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat, Kabbalat. Rise together. Boi v'shalom ateret ba'ala Gam b'simcha u'v'sola Toch emunei am segula Boi chala Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat, Kabbalat, Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat, Kabbalat, Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Shabbat, Kabbalat, Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Shabbat, Kabbalat, Lecha Dodi,
We continue together on page 43. At the top of the page. We call each other to worship, although we forget and sometimes do not listen. We call each other to worship with one breath, one song, one voice. At this sacred time, which is every time, in this sacred place, which is every place, with this sacred congregation, which is every congregation, we unfold together into the endless blessing of the eternal and call each other to worship. So we rise together.
La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Baruchu et Adonai
We are now on page 45 at the top of the page. If you'll read and pray with me together. If fear is like a rock, then let me be a hammer. If sorrow is a fire, then let me be the sea. When challenges arise, may my heart increase in strength, like the moon that shines brighter when the darkness falls. Baruch atah Adonai hama'ariv aravim. Blessed are you, O God, who makes the evening fall. And in honor of our Israeli guests, I thought we would continue on page 51 with a reading from Rav Kook. Just a second reading on the page together. The light of God stirs one's heart so that it beats like a gentle wind filled with delightful fragrance, at the same time roaring like the waves of the sea. The whole Torah, the moral teachings, the commandments, the good deeds and commentaries all have as their objective to remove the roadblocks that this universal love should be to spread, to extend to every corner of our world. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Blessed are you, Adonai, who loves our people Israel and all your people with an unending love.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod, Malchuto leolam va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod, Malchuto leolam va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod, Malchuto leolam va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod, Malchuto leolam va'ed. And you shall love Adonai,
Adonai,
with all your soul,
with all your soul,
all your
and
mind.
all your mind.
Teach these words
Teach these words
through day and night
day and night
to all your children.
to all your children.
For it's their
It's
right.
their right.
And wear them proudly as a sign upon your hand, and as a crown above your eyes. And you shall write them on the doorposts of your house.
We continue on page 60. We celebrate our miracles, the water parting, wall tumbling, sun standing still miracles of our ancestors. Who is like you, O God, creator of fulfillment and joy? We continue together on page 62 with Micha Mocha.
ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
So we were talking before the service that this is a really strange feeling tonight because we're officially done with the holidays. Like, we're done. We did it. We made it all the way through. Everything was beautiful. All your food tasted great. And now we can rest. Oop, we're on? Okay. We can rest now. So in this point in the service, we thank God for these moments of rest, knowing that we work so hard and that God worked hard. And now we are able to reflect, to relax, to renew ourselves, and have so much to look forward to. And as Jews, there's always another holiday right around the corner. We're here celebrating tonight. And so we take that joy into our hearts as we turn together to V'shamru on page 65.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת ושמרו לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת ושמרו לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
ביני ובין בני השמיים ואת הארץ.
ושמרו
ושמרו
בני ישראל את השבת. ושמרו לעשות את השבת לדורותם. ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש. שבת ויהי נפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת. ושמרו לעשות את השבת לדורותם. ברית עולם. ברית עולם. ברית עולם.
We rise together for the Amidah, page 68. Adonai, Sifatai Tiftach Ulfi Yagid Hilatecha. Eternal God, open my lips, that my mouth may declare your glory. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avoteinu ve'imoteinu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Leah, Elohei Rachel, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor ve'Hanora, Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Ve'konei ha'akol, Ve'zocher Hasdei Avot ve'imahot, U'mevii Geula b'nei bneihem, Leman Shemo be'ahava, Melech Ozer, Moshia u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, צומח נופים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים באמונתו ישני העפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך מביט ומחיה, ומצליח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלע. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש. Please be seated. As you do, we take a moment for silent prayer.
shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav uyaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Oseh shalom liromav uyaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Oseh shalom liromav uyaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav uyaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav uyaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav uyaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen.
We turn in our prayer books to page 76. One of the things I love about Judaism is the focus on the here and now, on this life, that we live the very best lives that we possibly can. And if there's a heaven, well, then we'll be sitting at the right hand of God, if that we live the good life now. And so this reading at the very bottom of the page kind of reinforces that idea. It is better that we look inside ourselves and see what's going on in here than to look up at the heavens to see what's going on up there. And I would tell you who said that, except it's too small and I actually can't see it. But the focus is on what's happening in here and what's happening here. And if we can heal ourselves, body and spirit, and our community, then everything's going to be okay. And so we turn to the words of the Mishaberach, page 83, as we sing these words together.
Mishaberach avoteinu mikol habracha le'imotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishaberach imotenu mikol habracha la'avotenu. Bless those in need
secret of dealing with small letters is really large printing. 20 point, right? How many of you write in bigger than 20 point? Come on, for speeches and whatever. And 20 point, I'll work my way up to 22 probably in another couple of years. By the time I'm 90, I expect to be at 24 point. I don't know how large you could print. I mean, one page. Now, I want you to know that when I was a student in rabbinical school, I became quite interested in photography. I set up a darkroom in my kitchen of the apartment I was living in and produced a few reasonable black and white photographs. Now, I have no idea how I got it dark enough in that room late at night with drapes around me and the equipment. Now, I had not thought about this for many years until a recent segment on a national news program focused on the return of film cameras. I don't know if any of you saw that. Several did. The reporter interviewed a salesman in a camera store who indicated that for years, used film cameras simply sat on the shelves. Now they are being purchased for twice the price offered a year earlier. I was fascinated by this, not because I was going to become a film photographer, but rather I wondered why this was coming back. So consider some of our earlier memories. How many of you recall when a bar or bar mitzvah photographer took one or two pictures with his first camera and then went to a second camera, which was for backup? Remember, in those days, they had to develop, I see one here, in those days, they had to develop every picture that they took. It took time and it was costly. Today, our photographers shoot 10 pictures at the arc in 1 second, knowing that at least one of the photographs will be acceptable. And they take a picture and they look at their camera. They take a picture, they don't have to wait for the development of the negative to see what they've created. If you go to a wedding and you're standing under the chuppah and the photographer is at a distance, sometimes you'll hear something that sounds like a machine gun, 100 pictures going quickly as he's taking a photograph of every moment. And remember, photographers today have to deal with one other fact. By the time they get home and go to sleep, hundreds of pictures have already been posted live on the internet for people to see. It is a challenging time. The creative skill in both film and digital revealed in what they are able to do really after the photograph, the picture has been taken. Recently, I had a wonderful picture of our two dogs, but there was a bowl of dog food in the photo. Magically, one of my grandchildren removed the bowl. I have no idea how she did it. So having seen the TV interview, I Googled the question of return of cameras with film and found a lively discussion. Issues of shortages of motherboards, chips, and semiconductors might be a reason, one suggested, to return to some film cameras. Other responses focused on the use of chemicals needed in the development of pictures and their negative impact on our environment. One writer comparing a film camera to the vinyl records. You all had collections, right? Don't you wish you'd saved the covers in a pristine way? Because they're really valuable today. Vinyl records that we all recall. Photography has always been about capturing an image creatively and then using methods available at the time to enhance the picture. It was also about snapshots and Polaroids. Remember when the first Polaroid camera came out? It was incredibly expensive. No one could, well, some people could, but very few people that I knew growing up could afford a Polaroid camera. Suddenly, the price of Polaroid cameras began to go down because where was the real money? It was in the film. Who could afford to buy the film necessary to shoot the number of photographs you wanted? My father had a partner in his drugstore. He was a pharmacist who he asked to take pictures at my bar mitzvah. They sent the film through the store to their development company. Everything returned blank. Film and digital, the author of the article suggested, can and will continue to coexist. In the age of phones as cameras, the ability for those in the know to create instant albums from pictures sent and residing permanently in the cloud, it's nice to consider that old methods of photography still have a place. In both film and digital photography, a talented photographer expresses through her art not simply what she sees, but how she relates to the image. Does anyone not admire the picture of a beautiful sunset, an interesting face, a deserted city street, photographs taken by amateurs, or books of photographs produced by talented artists are so wonderful to just sit with and for a moment enjoy. Now, many of you are aware that on this Shabbat, we are reading the opening chapters of the Torah, Bereshit, the story of creation. These chapters, I will suggest, were our ancestors' glimpse ancient photos of their world and an explanation of its existence and the real challenges that they faced. They developed an understanding of the universe at a time when they did not have telescopes reaching to the heavens. They believed that God organized the universe creatively, each day adding another piece of creation: light, vegetation, animals, man and woman. The arrival of Adam and Eve, not about the development of a fetus in the womb. Adam's creation was from the earth, according to our ancestors. All humanity has one parent. The creation of Eve from Adam's rib, a partner intended to end his loneliness, making possible for social history finally to begin. Their arrival presented with the belief that each of us, each human being, has been created in God's image, not a photograph, each unique, within each of us the potential to choose good or evil. We have the opportunity to develop our own identity while challenged with the responsibility to care for our planet, all living things, and each other. Our ancestors created word pictures, stories, to explain their life situation. And these stories were written by people who were as wise about their world as we are about ours. From the Garden of Eden to the flood to the Tower of Babel, etiological myths, origin stories intended to explain various social or natural phenomena. Our universe is simply a magnificent photograph in the process of continual development. Each and every one of us is given the opportunity, the task of helping the picture become vibrant and beautiful. Our ancestors lived in a small world. They experienced joy and turmoil. We live in a connected world. We experience tragedy and happiness from every corner of the earth. Our tradition has taught us it is not our responsibility to solve every problem. It is our responsibility, each one of us, to engage. The Sabbath of Bereshit, creation, the magnificent story that we read each and every year, is a reminder that we are adding in our own small way to the picture, to the photo, what we do, how we live, the choices that each and every one of us makes important. May we contribute, and may our contributions be colored with the belief that we can and must make a difference. We read the stories every year. Take a moment in the week ahead to open the Tanakh and read about creation. It's a magnificent story, written by our ancestors, understood in the context of their history and their world, but so many lessons that we can learn. Lessons that we can learn if we take the time to remember that understanding our tradition is truly the beginning of our faith. Shabbat Shalom.
Alarm clock in the morning gets me out of bed as I wake to face another hectic day. No time for hesitation, there's too much work ahead. But in the midst of all the chaos and the strife, I must learn to count the blessings in my life. Tov lehodot, I won't take these things for granted. Tov lehodot, now I see the world anew. Tov lehodot, friends and family bring laughter to my soul, and my life would have no meaning without you. Sunset on the mountains, a simple melody, the freedom that I have to choose my way. A newfound revelation, a different way to see. Now your kindness warms me in the morning light, and I am shielded from the darkness of the night. Tov lehodot, I won't take these things for granted. Tov lehodot, now I see the world anew. Tov lehodot, friends and family bring laughter to my soul, and my life would have no meaning without you. The world around me opens up and lets me in. Like a mystery I finally understand. Oh, I raise up my voice and I sing out to the sky when I realize how fortunate I am. Tov lehodot, I won't take these things for granted. Tov lehodot, now I see the world anew. Tov lehodot, friends and family bring laughter to my soul, and my life would have no meaning without you. Tov lehodot, I won't take these things for granted. Tov lehodot, how I see the world anew. Tov lehodot, friends and family bring laughter to my soul, and my life would have no meaning without you. Without you.
That was beautiful. Just a correction. I was right that there are scores of our young adults with the Federation in Israel right now, and they are posting on Facebook. Rabbi Bennett, however, is not with them. He's in New York at his nephew's wedding, but he is going to Israel with the Federation in just a bit. But that error gives me a chance to mention that Jamie Bean, who you met earlier, also is in charge of our Motor City mission to Israel in March in honor of Israel's 75th. And nothing would make her happier if during the Oneg you went up to her and said, Jamie, I'm interested in going to Israel too. So I just want to put that in your minds. That would be a great thing to do at our Oneg Shabbat. And with that, we call up someone for the congregational announcements. Jason Plotkin, come forward.
Shabbat Shalom, y'all. It's so nice to be here celebrating with all of you. Just a few announcements about some of our upcoming events. Do you or a family member have a rising kindergartner? Come learn about our incredible ECC kindergarten program at an open house on Tuesday, October 25th at 7 p.m. It's not too late to support our temple teens through Mitzvah Day. Send flowers or bagels to a friend or loved one in exchange for a donation to our youth fund. The form closes at midnight tonight. Visit our website under the Yifty Mitzvah Day to participate. Don't forget to order your takeout Shabbat dinner from our caterer. Visit our website for upcoming menus and to place your order. You might have seen earlier today we sent out the Thanksgiving menu, so be on the lookout for that as well. Please join us after services for Oneg and Shabbat greetings. Thanks to your feedback, we're excited to bring back coffee tonight. So thanks for everyone who chimed in last week. Lastly, on behalf of the officers and members of the Board of Trustees, I wish each of you a Shabbat Shalom.
I just want to say that when I came here and started saying y'all, nobody said y'all back to me, but when Jason comes and says y'all, all of y'all are now y'all sayers, which I appreciate. We rise together on page 189 for Elenu.
שלא עשנו כגויי ארצות ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה שלא שם חלקנו כהם וגורלנו ככל העולם ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו
Please be seated. And I just want to mention that I came from New Jersey saying "yous guys," and nobody picked it up. So you beat the Jersey out of me. It's 36 years in the Midwest. There's still a little bit there, though. So we turn now, as we prepare for the Kaddish, to page 197 at the left-hand side of the page as we read together. It is a fearful thing to love what death can touch, a fearful thing to love, hope, dream, to be and oh to lose, a thing for fools this, and a holy thing. For your life has lived in me, your laugh once lifted me, your word was gift to me. To remember this brings painful joy. 'Tis a human thing, love, a holy thing, to love what death has touched. And with love, we recall those who have died but recently during the past 30 days of Shloshim. Jerry Beagleman, Shirley Seichert, Michelle Colburn, Jules Eisenberg, Annette Fingerroot, Lenore Freed, Clara Glassman, Loretta Goldzweig, Dr. Henry Leonard Green, Jerry Haber, Janet Lowinger Halper, Debbie Irie, Austin Albert Cantor, Seymour Lankowski, Sandy Lichterman, Ellen Lux, Jeffrey Ordauer, Jerry Preskop, Sandra Rubiat, Sheldon Sakwa, Sidney Schulman, Helen Shapiro, Shirley Weinman, Dr. Eric Zonder, and Ann Parker. We recall two of those whose yahrzeits fall at this time. Dennis Arnold, William Baines, Nancy Barr, Sylvia Collins Burshad, Hy Blinder, Mariba Bodak, Alexi Gurmash, Sherry Gladstone, Donna Gorin, Ella Gottfirst, Oscar Hornston, Aaron Hyman, Gerald Jabrowski, Gerald Kahn, Bobby Kay, Shirley Klein, Mark Klinger, Mildred Kramer, Henrietta Levine, Samuel Mailer, Bertha Marks, David Meth, Frederick Marty Miller, Dr. Jack G. Moroff, John Mulhern, Ruth Nagelbush, Mark Perlman, Jacob Resnick, Wallace R. Rosner, Arnold Ruback, Irving Sable, Rita Salasnick, Leonard M. Saltz, Irving Shanebaum, Joseph M. Silver, Norman Summers, Dorothy Furing Stewart, Abram Winogren, Arthur Mobley, Marvin Canner, Bobby Stone, and Evelyn Sedley. May their souls and the souls of all of our beloved departed be bound up in the bond of eternal life and everlasting love, as on page 199 we rise to remember them. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'yomad divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayet t'chol Beit Yisrael, b'agala v'zman kariv v'yimiru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam olamei olmaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitmoman v'yitnaseh, V'yitadar, v'yitalev, v'yitalal, shemed kudusha b'richu. La'ela min kol berachata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechamata, damiram b'yama v'yimiru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yimiru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimiru amen. May God, who causes peace to reign in the high heavens, let peace descend on us, on our people Israel, and on all the world. And let us say, Amen.
Od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu, ve'al kulam. Od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu, ve'al kulam. Salam aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam, salam, salam. Shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu, ve'al kulam. Od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu, ve'al kulam. Salam aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam, salam, salam. Salam, salam. Od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu, ve'al kulam. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.